The cross.
All right, we're going to play some music in honor of our Uncle Martin who passed away
Kevin,
yesterday.
you going to sing?
Kevin, are you going to sing, Kevin?
So low you can't even hear me.
All right. What are we going to play, Mom?
Kevin, I think you could learn to play the piano. I think you got it in you.
She says you think you have it in you.
This minute here. Jesus is coming to earth today.
Play something that you would have played in church when you were in church with that Grandpa. Sing along, Kevin.
Can't hear me?
At Harold's funeral. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away. He liked this song.
That was beautiful, Mother.
Anyway.
Man, that was,
Mom, tell me one Martin story.
Oh, Martin and I feeding silage to the cows in Minnesota in the middle of a snowstorm, 40
Okay.
below zero.
All right.
how far was the house away from the barn?
Well, Danny knows because he was there. It was quite
Danny,
a
how
hike.
far was from the barn?
The
Far.
house
It was far.
was kind of on a hill, so we kind of went down, down. And then there was a yard light there between the house and the barn.
Oh,
It was quite a few. How far would you say it was?
I would say it was probably
like our barn at that growing up.
50 yards.
50
Yeah,
yards?
at least.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But we could have smothered in that snowstorm because
That was-
I think my dad said, "Wait for me in the barn when you're done."
Don't try and make it back to the
We
house.
got done with our
Did
chores.
the milk freeze by the time you got there? The
What?
milk? Were you, you
No, they were carrying silage.
Oh, your feet.
Feed the
We
cows.
were feeding silage to the cows because
Oh.
the cows were in the barn. You see,
Yeah.
they couldn't go out in the
No.
cold.
How high was the snow?
Well, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And it was so cold.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we walked to school only 1 mile, but some of the kids had to walk 3 miles.
Yeah.
But then
Did
sometimes
you guys ever go fishing over
they
there?
take them in a sleigh. Oh yeah,
Huh?
in the summer.
Oh,
And another thing, none of us kids could swim. And yet we were playing in the water all the time. If you don't think the Lord wasn't
We did the
taking
same
care of
thing.
us. And we'd go out in a rowboat with
Well,
our little strings and our
well.
little hook on the end and catch sunfish.
You know, Mom, when we were growing up on our farm, we did the same thing. We were doing the exact same
But I
thing.
took you for swimming lessons, though.
yeah.
Well, that saved us.
I took you for swimming lessons, but we didn't. We hadn't.
We had river swimming lessons.
Yeah, we had river. We learned in the river. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and one time on the farm, the ice was melting. This is, winter's getting over. And Blanche and I were down at the swamp. I don't know where the brothers were. I used to go with them when they were checking their traps, and I used to carry the muskrats home.
Mm.
Anyway, this time it was just Blanche and I, and the pond was starting to melt, and we were on this hunk of ice, and it started floating out to the middle. With a pond, you never know how deep anything is. I picked up Blanche, she's 4 years younger than me, and carried her, and the water was up to here.
Mm.
I carried her to the,
Was it cold?
so many times we could,
Wow.
so many times we could have drowned,
Mm-hmm.
And then
Us
the
too,
winter-
right?
That's two, yeah.
In the winter, it got so thick on the ice, we used to slide with our sleds and our skis on the ponds.
Mm.
There were 3 ponds on our farm, big ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anyway,
You thought you'd have taken some swimming lessons.
So, what are you going to miss about Martin the most?
I'm just glad he's not suffering. I was praying the Lord would take him before his cancer got worse because he'd had a heart attack. And I talked to him on the phone 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm alert, but I've had a heart attack. And I've also got cancer in my bones. So I had written a letter to him and sent it to his daughter's house. And yeah, he seemed to be peaceful and everything. She told me now when I talked to her, the daughter, this morning, that he wasn't eating very much the last 2 weeks. He didn't care for food.
Mm.
And then Harvey got like that too, because they like to drink water. They're thirsty. They want to drink water, but they don't care for food.
Hmm.
But he was 2 years older than me. His birthday was September the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I think that the Lord took him before he got worse with the cancer in the bones, because that is pretty missing.
How old was Martin?
He would have been 91
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was younger
last
than you.
September, and he's 2 years older than me. So
He's older than you.
So
Yeah.
September.
Kevin, get it right. Come on.
Oh,
So
man.
September 16th, he turned
Wow.
91.
Yeah.
And we used to play together, you know, pushing. We didn't have a lot of toys years ago.
Jeanette's the oldest now, and then you.
Yeah. And then there's Blanche and Dorothy. Dorothy's next to the baby.
The
But,
baby.
Goodness, I remember.
Wow.
It just.
Quite a life.
It was.
Yeah.
I can remember getting Blanche ready for school. Because, see, by that time, I'm 4 years older than her, so I was probably in 4th grade when she started school. I remember helping her get dressed for school. We walked 1 mile, which is, you know, straight down the road. Wasn't too bad.
This is when you were in town?
Pardon?
This is when you moved to town?
Oh, no, this is in
Still on the farm?
Minnesota. We were there for 6 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And Dad, during the Depression, Dad, he was still called on to visit the sick and everything, but he was actually shoveling gravel with for the road, working for the government.
Oh, the highway.
They call it WPA.
He was doing that.
He was shoveling gravel into these big gravel trucks. That's what they got the guys doing. Anyway. Well, one day at a time.
Well, thanks for playing the piano, Mom.
Huh?
Thanks for playing the piano.
Well, listen, let me see what you got on there.
Okay.
Should we turn
What you
this-
got cooking in the kitchen?
I don't know. I need to probably stir my gravy, but I think everything's
Let's go take a look.
handled. I think it's pretty
There's a
much.
lot of meat in there.
Yeah, that was a good. I think Tommy brought that. And you know what? I told Tommy to come for dinner today,
Yeah.
and he said he was going to come next week when there wasn't so many people.
Oh, I see.
Well,
Meatballs.
This can go in the. This is meat.
And the meat's down here.
And then this.
We're gonna
gravy
eat
is-
good.
I think any of this I'll go in the middle of the table.
Final words? Final words, Kevin?
I was looking for Martin in one of these pictures, but it looks like it's just
put the light
sisters.
on back down there,
Sisters.
Kevin. At the end, way at the end.
Sisters.
The other wall. Hello, turn around. There, no.
There we go.
You can take a picture of that. Move that box, would you?
Sisters. Sisters. Yeah.
Very
That's the
nice.
age we were talking about
See,
there.
Ruthie's gone now.
Yeah.
And Karen's gone. This was Canada, Frontier.
Yeah.
Frontier Canada, these were.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Very nice.